Hey everyone, this is Scott McKay. I'm doing this video today as part of my self-reflection video through my MBA journey. Before I dive more into the MBA journey, I just want to introduce myself a little bit more. I'm actually from Connecticut, born and raised, and then I joined the Army when I was 17, and I currently reside in Alaska with my wife and 3 children. And I'm at about 19 years of service almost, so getting pretty close to retirement. So completing my MBA prior to retiring was very important to me, so I could kind of set myself up for success and opportunity when I transition out of the Army into the civilian workforce. A little bit about my education background. I started my Bachelor of Science in Business Administration in 2010 through post-university, and I eventually graduated in 2019. I never really thought I was going to pursue my MBA. Initially, that wasn't a goal of mine. Mine was just to get a bachelor's degree. Being the first one in my family to achieve a bachelor's degree was my goal. But when I accomplished that, a lot of my peers encouraged me to continue my education, as it would help me with promotion opportunities while in the Army, and also just to better educate myself and get me prepared to enter the civilian workforce in the future. So I enrolled in my MBA in project management through post-university a year later. And I began that journey in 2020, and now I'm set to graduate after this class and walk at graduation in person in May of 2024. So, very excited. Very happy to have listened to my peers and mentors to continue pursuing my education. And very excited for what this education will allow me to do and pursue in the future. So my MBA program, what have I learned along the way? So building off a bachelor's degree, learning how to improve bonds and communication amongst my peers and educators in a digital environment. A lot of the workforce, especially since COVID, has transitioned to a digital working environment. Even the Army has adapted to that in many ways. So I've had a little experience there, but it looks like it's going to be the way of the future. So being able to communicate with project teams, in classes, to make decisions and work together to accomplish a specific goal is important in any organization, education or professional base. So I think that was something I learned along the way, how to be a better team player in a virtual environment. Also, getting the foundational knowledge on business practices and project management learnings. Some examples of what I've learned, but obviously not limited to, would be project and risk management techniques such as risk logs, SWOT analysis, PESTEL analysis, 5 forces models. Also financial analysis such as basic understanding of income statements, balance sheets, what the numbers are telling us and why it is important. Project charters and work breakdown structures. And how to succeed as a member of a team in a virtual environment, which we already talked about is becoming very popular and almost the new norm. Leadership styles and techniques, and so much more. A lot of these I have been able to apply to what I do now in the Army, especially more of the project and risk management techniques and leadership styles techniques. I feel like I've been able to become a more competent leader to my soldiers, and also being able to manage risk, identify risk, and try to figure out the best approach to many missions and things that we do in the Army. So a lot of learning curves along the way as well. Some of my struggles during my MBA was finding that work, student, family balance. Having a full-time job as a soldier in the Army, and then also being a husband and a father to 3 children, and then trying to concentrate on getting my assignments done on time and providing quality work to get a good grade was all important to me, right? But eventually you just got to find a rhythm that kind of worked for me, my family, and my lifestyle. So it was just really planning, which is also a big part of project management and being in business. So planning, having timelines, checkpoints along the way to make sure I'm on track to finish everything that's needed in a specific time period, and providing quality was important. So that was a struggle initially, but I think I've definitely learned to adapt and figure out how to balance all of that over time. Also losing loved ones. During my MBA journey, I lost both my mom and my dad. So, that was definitely hard. At one point, I actually reached out to one of my professors, asked for an extension on a paper under the circumstances so I could fly for a funeral. They were more than accommodating, so the staff and educators at Post University are second to none. I've had nothing but great experiences from the school and the staff. But aside from the struggles, some of my favorite moments and favorite classes, the biggest thing is creating friendships. I look back and I see a lot of the same names in a lot of the classes I've taken, class after class, and with some of my classmates, especially after working in teams, I've been able to develop some type of friendship or bond with some of my classmates, and some of them I still keep in contact with, and that's important. Building bonds and relationships is a big part of business, and really any environment to thrive. So that's one of my favorite parts of this MBA journey for sure. Also being able to self-assess my strengths and weaknesses through various classes and assignments. I recalling doing a leadership point of view paper, a SWOT analysis, being able to self-identify my attributes and characteristics where they currently are and what my potential is very important to my growth. And I definitely feel like after taking some of these classes and completing some of these assignments, I've definitely learned more about myself as an individual and also as a leader, and have been able to apply that to my professional and personal life to be a better husband, better father, and also a better leader in the Army. I enjoyed the business planning strategy class and the Jamba Juice case study. Being able to identify problems and trends within an existing organization, providing recommendations based on the analysis is important. Being able to read between the lines and peel the onion back, figuring out why. That's the important thing is, it's okay we have a problem, but we have to figure out the why. So we have to keep peeling the onion back so we can't peel it back anymore. So that was a great learning experience as well. Project and risk management class. There's risk in everything we do. So understanding the risk management process and being able to identify risk, come up with risk mitigation strategies, applying them with controls, and then assessing is very important to almost everything we do in life, from driving a vehicle to work to, just really anything. So that was a great class. And really this capstone is probably my favorite class, actually. I really enjoyed the capstone simulation. I spent a lot of time analyzing the state of our company and comparing our business to the competition to identify problems, trends, potential opportunities. So I definitely had a lot of fun with that. And during my capstone project, I did a feasibility study, and looking back, I just completed my paper. I was able to apply many of the MBA core and concentration learnings to that. So that was awesome. So growth along the way. I believe I've become a more confident individual and leader, which I already mentioned. I feel like I've been able to be a better role model for my children and teach them that education is important. There's always something to learn and attain, no matter how old or successful you are. Every day is a new day to learn something new or improve on something you already know. So, being able to pass those lessons and teachings along to my children is important for their growth as well. So, what I do, could positively or negatively impact others. So, it's good to be a positive role model. And pursuing my MBA has demonstrated that. I'm more aware of business practices and the importance of each, At least I have a sound foundation on many of them, and I just look on building off those in the future. In the Army, I've been able to apply my various learnings from risk management, leadership styles and methods, and planning to what I do every day at work. These are things that a lot of us probably do every day, and, I'm hoping, like me, it helped a lot of you as well. For program improvements, I would recommend the capstone be its own class. I believe there's a lot you could learn from this simulation, and for some students, it seems like it takes longer to grasp than others. Having 8 weeks solely focused on the capstone simulation can provide the time to learn and understand the processes and learn how decisions impact other parts of their business in a negative or positive way. It also allows time for decisions made early on to see how it impacts the company in the long term. Personally, this is just me. I dislike having to choose my own topic for projects and assignments. This can be very stressful. It was with the capstone, but Dr. Mike was able to assist in helping me own in on a topic based on some things I came up with. But I would recommend for the classes that require a student to pick their own topic, maybe also having predetermined topics readily available for those students that do stress with choosing a topic of their own. And in some classes, educator feedback was minimal. With minimal feedback and getting a grade of like an 85, I don't know what I did wrong. I wasn't sure how I could improve. So educators, I do ask that you just, be informative and give constructive feedback to the students so we could get better. All right. But overall, my journey with the MBA program at Post University was a great experience. My academic advisors were great in planning ahead and kind of pre-planning all my classes ahead of time, so I knew which classes I'd be taking and when. And they checked on me periodically throughout the journey, so, that was awesome. And I feel more confident and believe I possess the ability to be a great asset to a future employer because of my knowledge, learnings, and lessons I've experienced through my MBA journey. So thank you, and have a good day.